Hello and welcome to part 1 of this Alphabetizer PHP video. In this part I'm going to try and code out the entire script. I'm going to try and keep this to a part tutorial. So let's get started. In this file that I'm working in, alphabetizer.php, I have my HTML page which has a form in it. The form is method post. The action is this page, and then it just has the text area and an input, or a submit button rather. So that's all. If you need to copy out this form, you can do so. Now I'm going to start into the PHP now though. So the first thing to do is to check to see if the form has been submitted. So we're going to do that by seeing if, or we're going to use the empty function. So we're going to say if empty, and then the variable we want is the post of list, which is if this field is empty. So we want to say if it is not empty, which means that it has a value in it. So we're going to say equals to false. So basically what this line says is if this variable is not equal to a blank value or to null or to or if it's not set at all. So if it's not, because if that's false, then that means that it does have a value, and we're going to do some code in here. Otherwise we're not going to do anything else, just because, well, because we don't need to do anything if there's no value in it. Oftentimes people would have if is set here, and then they would check empty in here and provide an error if it is empty, but for sake of this tutorial that's just a waste, because I mean you really don't need to check if it's empty otherwise, because if they enter an empty list of things that they want to be like alphabetized, then well they shouldn't be doing that, so they should know what was wrong with their submitted form. So yeah, the next thing that we're going to do is define the terms variable. So terms is going to be equal to we're going to explode, use the explode function, and we're going to explode on a new line, and what we're going to explode is the HTML entities of this posted variable. Now if you don't understand this, just bear with me for a second while I explain it. So this explode function right here, what it does is it puts these terms, or it puts whatever you have entered into an array with a list of values in this array, and the way it decides where to divide up each of these terms is with this character. So for instance, if they had entered I like turtles, explode would look to put all three of these into an array. Where it would know when to put the next value into the array is every time that there is a new line, which is shown using this character. So that would mean that we would have something like an array, which is equal to first value would be I, second would be like, and third would be turtles. And so yeah, it just puts it into a separate array based on this term. Now if you had something like I am, then it would have I am, because it's dividing here. If you were to say have this I upwards line thinger am like turtles, you could then explode on that character. So you could explode, instead of the new line, you could explode on that, and then it would give you I am like turtles. I hope this makes sense. But yeah, just basically remember that it takes a single string and puts it into an array on a certain character. So our certain character is a new line, so every new line will give a new array key. Now this HTML entities is put in there for protection. It helps to prevent against XSS attacks. And basically all it does is take any character that is important to HTML, so something like this or that, and it puts it into its non-harmful entity. So for instance, the ampersand sign is something like this, and then that is just read by the script as that opposed to this sign, so then it's not there's no harm that can be done, and then when it's output, it will be output as the character opposed to the entity. So that's just in there for protection. Now the next line is the actual main line of this entire script, and what we're going to be using is a function called natCaseSort, and then that takes one parameter, and that parameter is what you want to sort. And so in this case, we're sorting our terms array. You always sort an array. So let me explain this function to you. This function is the main part of the script, and it puts things in alphabetical order. It's very similar to the sort function, just this. The only difference is it ignores, or it puts it in natural order, or the order that a human would put it in if they were sorting. So, for instance, it is case insensitive. So that means using the sort function, if you had 1, 11, 12, 2, you would think that it would go 1, 2, 11, 12, because that's the natural order. However, the sort function would put it in this exact order right here, as it would go 1 blank, 1 1, which is obviously before 1 2, and this 1 always comes before 2, which does not make a whole lot of sense to the human mind, as that's not the way we would order things, but that is the way that sort orders things. And so natural sort, or natural case sort, or natCaseSort, is a function that is totally case insensitive, and so the same thing would go normally, or using sort, it orders all of the uppercase before the lowercase, and in natCaseSort it would order it like that. So yeah, basically this function just takes all the keys of an array and orders them alphabetically, ignoring the case. And so that's that part of the script. Now, that's all we have to do up here. Just trace that back up. Now down here, what we're going to do, which is in our body, is we're going to first check if is set terms, and what that does is sees if terms is set, and yeah, it doesn't check anything else, because if it obviously has a value if this is returns true. So then what we're going to do is to echo implode, which is the opposite to explode, and so we're going to implode on a break, line break like that, and then terms. So as I said, this is the opposite to explode right here, and what it does is it takes an array, which are terms, and puts it into a single string on this case, or on this character rather. So just think about what explode did and how I explained it up here, how it explodes on that, and then this just does the exact opposite process. So this is actually our entire script finished right here. So if we go back to this page and I'll refresh, I'll refresh this way so it works. it should be totally fine. So we'll just do sloth scripts videos jam and pickles, and we'll click sort, and you see we get and jam pickles scripts sloth videos, which is in alphabetical order. You can do it with numbers too. Yeah, and then we'll sort, and you can see we get them in alphabetical order. So that's that script complete. I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please comment. Check out my other videos, and thanks for watching.